for sharing. And now it's came to a time that we've been waiting. Our honor to have our Atomy Jedi from all the way Seattle. He debuted as Atomy Jedi on Success Academy Online. We all remember that. So please welcome our one and only Atomy Jedi Sales Master Scott Kampen.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for that. May the force be with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as was mentioned, my name is Scott Kampen. I'm a sales master with the Seattle Absolute Center. This is my vision story. It's a lifetime of lessons from the School of Hard Knocks. When I was a baby, I had hopes and dreams of one day becoming a successful businessman. I even had my little bow tie and I had my corporate chair all picked out. And at the age of 1 year old, things were really looking up for me. But then, my parents got divorced when I was 5 years old, and the hard times of the 70s were just beginning. My self-confidence started to fade. The 1970s were really hard times for my mom, myself, and my sisters. We were on welfare and living way below the poverty line. We had nothing but each other. Things improved somewhat in the 1980s, but with both parents divorced and with no real parental guidance, I dropped out of high school in my senior year. I only had 7 months of school to go. That decision led me down the path of hard times. Getting a job without a high school diploma was tough, and so I struggled for the next few years working odd construction jobs or on an assembly line in a factory. However, I learned a valuable lesson working in the factory. There were 10 of us working the assembly line, but one day the assembly line broke down. 9 people went out back to have a smoke break, while I stayed behind to sweep the floor, prepare boxes, and make sure the assembly line was ready to go again for the next production run. It wasn't my job to do that, but someone had to do it, and it needed to be done. After about 2 weeks, those 9 people got fired, and I was hired full-time and promoted to assembly line supervisor. I was shocked. When I asked why I got the job, the factory manager said, "Because you were willing to do what others are not willing to do. Do what others won't do." That, for me, was lesson number 1. So, a few years later, on my 21st birthday with a full head of hair, I kissed my mom and my grandmother goodbye. And the very next day, I left my family and friends in Minnesota. There I am standing there in front of my mom's car. I didn't have a car at the time. I just had my backpack, and I was going to start hitchhiking around the country until I could find myself. Leaving Minnesota, my family and my friends behind was the hardest decision I ever made. But it was the best decision I could make for my life at that time. Albert Einstein once said, "Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result." To this day, many of my old friends and family members are still doing the same things they were doing back in the 80s. Many of them are still struggling and wondering why they never succeeded in life. Make hard decisions and stick to them. That was lesson number 2. So, with my backpack and my thumb, I left Minnesota for Ohio. I hitchhiked to Ohio, stayed there for a while. Eventually, I made it down to Arkansas to see my aunt and uncle. And then I went to Alabama and Georgia for a short time, but I realized that the South was not where I wanted to be. I ended up in Kansas for a little bit, and then I went to Texas. But then I called my dad, who was living in Washington, and eventually I made my way all the way to Washington State. Once I reached Washington State, I knew the first thing I needed to do was get my GED. So I studied hard, and after 6 months, I passed all the tests. With my new GED and my self-confidence restored, I soon landed a job as a salesperson for a computer school. It was the summer of 1992, and I didn't even know what a computer was. During the next 2 years, I became the #1 salesperson out of 80 salespeople from 10 computer schools located in 3 states. I stood out in the rain, the sun, the snow, and I talked to everyone I met. But I wanted more out of life. So for the next 3 years, I drove to Seattle on Saturdays and Sundays to study 8 hours each day to take a course in adult education so I could become a teacher. I was the first person in the state of Washington to complete the course and earn a Mastery of Vocational Education degree from Western Washington University. Soon afterwards, in 1998, I landed a new job in a telecommunications company. Again, I knew nothing about computers. When I asked my boss why I got hired, he said, "Because you are teachable." Remain teachable. That for me was lesson number 3. A short time later, I met the love of my life and her 2 sons. We have been a family ever since. Hey, who's that guy? MC Lee. Thank you. Well, for the past 22 years, I've been stuck in my job, living paycheck to paycheck. Over the years, we tried different businesses. We had rental houses, but they were a lot of work, and sometimes we didn't get the best tenants. We even had our own coffee shop for a few years, but that required a lot of hours, and I drank most of the coffee, so profits weren't great. We looked into franchises, but the startup costs were enormous. We didn't have the upfront money, and it would have meant quitting my stable job to start my own business. The average cost to start a business today is $65,000. Even when faced with a good opportunity, I still turned it away. In 2011, I had an opportunity to buy Bitcoin for less than $20 a coin. But I told my friend, no, that's not for me. Well, today, each coin is worth over $10,000. And at the time, I was going to invest $500. That investment would be worth $250,000 today. An opportunity lost. In 2013, some friends came to our house to share an opportunity with us. They said it was a Korean company and that it had something to do with products and point values and downlines. Immediately, I thought pyramid scheme, knocking on doors and selling things. I said, no way, please leave my house. And so we continued to live paycheck to paycheck. I felt bad because my wife had to work as well, and she deserved better. Another opportunity lost. So I thought. Well, 5 years later, in 2018, my wife secretly signed up for that Korean company, and I started noticing more and more products around the house. At first, I told her, okay, honey, that Atomy thing is all yours. You can do it, but I don't want anything to do with it. Then, in the summer of 2019, my son Marcus said to me, hey, Dad, Mom is getting promoted. Do you want to go to the ceremony to see her get her award? And I was like, getting promoted for what? And he said, promoted to sales master in Atomy. Well, Reluctantly, I agreed to go to the Success Seminar in August of 2019. And there I was, sitting in Seattle at the Success Academy for the Master's Ceremony. During that time, I saw my beautiful wife get her award and get promoted to Sales Master. I was so proud for her. And then I also saw those friends who came to our house 5 years earlier, and they too were getting promoted to Diamond Master at that time. Don't overlook a great opportunity. That was lesson number 4. And so what did I learn at my first Success Academy? I learned that in 1992, Hongil Park was just learning about network marketing in Australia. That was the same year I was becoming a salesperson at the computer school. Throughout the next coming years, he achieved great ranks and went on to found IamKorea.com. He has since gone on to become the vice chairman of the Korean Society for Food and Nutrition and president of the Korean Sales Association. He has done great things throughout the years. I also learned that he started Atomy with a simple conversation with about 17 of his friends and acquaintances at an old duck restaurant in Iksan, Korea. It was there that he tried telling them about Atomy and sharing his vision about what it meant. And throughout the next coming years, no matter where he went, he would teach to small groups and large groups. If there was a whiteboard and a marker, he would teach. And as people became successful and rose through the ranks, he would celebrate in their success as well. I also learned about the management objectives of Atomy, that the customer success is the ultimate goal, and that Atomy wants to become the distribution hub, sharing products from around the world through its distribution network to the world. And then, with honesty and goodness as the best strategy, as its philosophy, it wants to become a premier company. I also learned that in order to exist, the company had to have strict management principles so that it could continue to exist, and that each and every one of us are part of that process. And then that speed is important to growth. And it means that we should be moving at a quick pace in the right direction. Atomy's in the process of opening up in many countries and opening up many different products to the world. So then with that was balance. And so it's not just Atomy's goal to have income coming in, but it's Atomy's goal to make sure that all of its members succeed and share in the wealth of the company. I then learned about the company motto of cherish the spirit, create the vision, follow the faith, and serve in humility. The product philosophy I learned was that the products that I had been using for the last few months were of absolute quality at the absolute best price. And that through the portmanteau of mass and stige, we have the Mestige strategy of bringing prestigious products to the masses. Through its GSGS strategy, which is global sourcing, global sales strategy, Atomy strives to bring products from around the world through its distribution network to the rest of the world. We have products from Mexico, the United States, from Korea, from China, and again, there's from Mexico again. So Atomy's commitment is to bring products that it finds that meet its standards to the world. And with its success, Atomy has a social contribution of sharing Atomy. A company's roots run deep in the community, And the most effective way to establish a connection between the company and the community is to celebrate a culture of sharing. And then, in appreciation of the great love and trust that we have received through the years, Atomy pledges to continue giving back to society through a variety of activities and social causes. And with its Dreamy Foundation, Atomy has a missionary foundation which is established to promote Christian gospel ministries and activities throughout the world. And then there is the Dreamy School, which is an alternative school located in Cheonan, South Korea. Built on the spirit of Christian values, Dreamy School paves the way for a new kind of educational model. So, I also learned that in 1921, the Colmar Group was established in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then, after the Korean War, that the Korean Atomic Energy Research Institute was established in 1959. That is the second largest research institute in the world. NASA is number one. In 1990, the Colmar Group established Colmar Korea, and with its research and development, they teamed up with the Korean Atomic Energy Research Institute to create the Colmar B&H. And B&H stands for Beauty and Health. This is the company that certifies the products, researches the products, and brings them to Atomy to distribute through its network. Atomy has a distribution network which includes you and I, and the shipping and all of the other companies that make up the distribution network. In 2013, Atomy realized another goal by simultaneously broadcasting its success seminars, its global seminars, throughout the different countries that it was in at the time and in multiple languages. And then all of that is available to us through the online shopping mall. Now, the online shopping mall is a wholesale club, much like other wholesale member discount clubs. Each member is given their own shopping mall when your account is created. And I learned through there, we have daily necessity items of healthcare, beauty, personal care, living, and food. And then we're a global company. That was one of the things that I noticed as I was sitting there in front of 400 people at that success seminar. And, you know, not my choice, I was in the front row as well. But I looked around the room that day and I realized this wasn't just a Korean company. It was a global company. There were people from the Philippines, people from Korea, people from Mexico, people from Singapore. We had people from Canada. There were people of all different skin types and colors and everything. So it was truly a global company. There were people of all ages as well. So it wasn't just for the young or just the old. People of all ages were there, and that impressed me. I learned that our membership is free, that there's no monthly or annual fees, that there's no online shopping mall access fee. There's no monthly automatic purchases or no selling and no quotas. You buy the products when you need the products. And then I learned about the residual income. And this hit home for me because my wife and I had residual bills every month coming in, but we didn't have all the money to pay for those bills. So it really hit home to me that I needed to find a source for residual income, and this was it. I also learned about Atomy's binary marketing system, that we only needed 2 downlines and that those downlines went on for infinity. And then it was truly a global marketing company, that it didn't matter what country your members were in, as long as Atomy was in that country, they could become a member as well. And then that old pyramid scheme came to mind when I saw this, but I soon realized that Atomy had turned it upside down and that the people just starting out, they had every opportunity to reach the top as well, and that they were earning more of the commission coming in. You can earn up to $60 a day, all the way up to $1,200 a day. and that really impressed me. I then learned what those PVs stood for that our friends were telling us about, and it stood for point values. Every product had a point value. And I soon learned that as I bought products and as our downline members bought products, we would earn the point values, and those point values would then turn into commissions. The general commission of 44% meant that more of the money went back to the members of Atomy, all the way from $60 a day all the way up to $1,200 a day. And that then led us into the masterships, from Sales Master, Diamond Master, Sharon Rose, Star Master, Royal Master, Crown Master, and Imperial Master. I learned that my wife was now on the first step into becoming an Imperial Master. She was a Sales Master. And because we were married, that made me a Sales Master too. I then learned that the whole opportunity was free, that it was equal, that Atomy set a $50,000 per month limit that all of us could reach, regardless of where we started and when we started. And then the most beautiful thing of all, the third generation inheritance. No matter how much residual income you are generating at the time when you die, your grandchildren and children can inherit your account. And so that for me gave me peace of mind that I am going to be able to build something not only for myself while I'm alive, but also for my children and support them in their future. And then the Atomy Success System. And this is exactly what we're doing here today. We have the center meetings. Those are the small weekly group meetings. Well, now we meet via Zoom. We used to meet in person. And then there's the one-day seminars. Again, those used to be once a month. We would go somewhere and we'd go to a success seminar. But as MC Lee pointed out, he was videotaping. And so that is where we're seeing them now, is online. And hopefully someday we'll be able to go back to the in-person meetings. And then there's the Success Academy, and that happens every 3 months. Those are the large quarterly meetings to where we celebrate people's successes and all the hard work that people are doing throughout the last quarter. And then there's the Global Seminar, which is held every year, and that's the one that's simultaneously broadcast to the countries throughout the world. Most beautiful thing about this is that not only does Atomy want us to sell products and live a better life, they've given us tools that we can use in order to help, and that is the life scenario. So in order to propel ourselves forward, our life needs to be balanced. All of those goals and dreams that we want need to be identified and focused on so that we can move in those directions to fix any area of our life that isn't balanced. So they've given us the tools to succeed. So our success is supported by our belief in 3 things. A belief in yourself. How you see yourself and what you do plays a huge role in your future success. Believing equals receiving. If we've got positive thoughts in our mind, we're going to have positive outcome. If we have negative thoughts, we're going to have negative outcome. Just remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me. And then you need to have a belief in the company that you're working for. You know, Atomy has absolute quality and absolute prices. Its vision for your success is the #1 mission at the heart of Atomy's corporate culture. So be proud to be part of Atomy and go tell the world. And then the third thing is we need to have a belief in the industry. You know, it is a proven fact that our world's changing. Jobs today might not be here tomorrow, and we've seen a lot of people in the last 6 months lose their jobs. However, network marketing as an industry is a better way to build long-term residual income and financial stability than working a 9-to-5 job. So how do we believe in ourselves? Well, we could master a new skill. You know, 6 months ago, not all of us knew how to log into a Zoom meeting, or for that matter, not all of us knew how to create a PowerPoint presentation. And so through that difficult time, we've been able to learn something new. Or, hey, how about becoming a mentor to someone? You know, for those of you who have downline members, become their mentor, teach them, help them succeed. Or stand on the edge of your comfort zone. You know, my friends, this is my very first vision lesson, and I was nervous as all heck today. I stood on my comfort zone, stood on the edge, and I looked over the cliff. And before I was ready to jump, Jennifer pulled me back and said, "You're going to do okay." So we have to take action for our own destiny. No one can do it for us. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. So we want to believe in the company. That's the second thing. Here's the company motto: cherish the spirit. A human being made in the image of God cannot be a means to do something under any circumstances, but is the most precious existence of all. A human being is the end goal, but never a means to an end. Don't take advantage of people. Don't do that. And those people must be valued. Create the vision. The most certain way of predicting the future is to plan the future ourselves. My friends, I want you to do something right now. I want you to take a look at that picture. And do you see that mountain over there? That mountain represents Imperial Master. That mountain represents the challenges that we have to face. Along that road, we're heading there. It's right there in front of us. Can you see it? That's Imperial Master. Now we just need to take the next step. We need to continue moving forward. Focus on that goal. Think positive thoughts and you'll get there. And then, even though those goals and dreams that we have, sometimes we can't see them. And sometimes the things that our sponsors are telling us, we just can't visualize it. So we have to walk in faith. When your faith is leading, your feet will follow. It is a proven fact that once we change our mind to a positive thing, our subconscious and our body will start taking actions to lead us in that direction. So, change your mind, you change your life. One day at a time, one step at a time. And then, serve in humility. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve." My friends, I have seen serve in humility played out so much since I've been with Atomy. People that have been very successful with Atomy have given up their time. I was absolutely honored when Star Master Daniel Lim came to my living room on a Thursday night many months ago to teach my small group of new members. I was blown away that someone who had reached a level of success as him would be in my living room teaching, or my Sharon Rose master sponsors that are there every day for us if we need it. They're there on these meetings. They're there serving in humility. They've reached success, but they haven't forgotten where they started out, the same place I'm at today. And so the third thing is we need to have a belief in the industry. You know, network marketing is a low-cost entry, low-risk opportunity for people who want to start their own business and take control of their financial stability. It is an industry of just sharing products and services with other people and encouraging them to do the same. I want to ask you a question. How many times have you gone to a restaurant and then loved it, just loved it, and then you recommended it to someone else? You just network marketed that restaurant. Did you get a commission for that? Did you get paid for that? No. It's the same concept. Get out there and tell the world about Atomy. Jim Rohn, one of the most influential network marketers in the world, very motivational person, said network marketing is the big wave of the future. Hongdil Park realized this many years ago. He saw the future coming. It's taking the place of franchising. We learned how expensive it is to franchise your own brick and mortar building somewhere. which now requires too much capital for the average person. And in the last 6 months, how many of those franchise owners have had to struggle? How many of them have had to close their doors on their business or operate at a reduced capacity, maybe only 30%? They're barely keeping the lights on, but yet they have to remain open. Otherwise, they're going to lose their business. With Atomy, that never happens. This gentleman right here, Bill Gates, he once said at a conference, if I would be given a chance to start all over again, I would choose network marketing. Bill Gates understands the power of network marketing. He understands the power of bringing people together so that many people can do small things together but have a big impact upon the overall goal. And then this gentleman right here, Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He wrote, the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for jobs. And we all know what a job stands for, just over broke, right? You don't want to be just over broke. So we need to continue to start building our network and make sure that it grows. And then the richest man in America, Warren Buffett, he said, never depend on single income. Make investment to create a second source. For those of you who have not retired yet, like myself, who still have a day job, Atomy is our second source. It is that source that we are working in our spare time. I didn't have to quit my job. I don't have to set an alarm clock at 4 in the morning to get up and so I can go open that coffee shop anymore. Atomy is there. I can work it in my spare time. So it's easy, it's free, it's easy to start, it's easy to get going. And so that's our second source. You can do it too. My family now is involved. My entire family is now involved in Atomy. Each of us now use the products every day. And to steal a phrase from another Atomian, salesmaster L.V. Gonzalez, we have atomized our house. Have you atomized your house? Have you gone through and systematically replaced your old products with Atomy products? That's what atomizing your house means. So if you're just starting out with Atomy, start with one product, then another product. Change your toothpaste, change your shampoo, change your coffee. Hey, change your top ramen. All right. Well, my lessons learned. Do what others are not willing to do, right? Always go above and beyond. Do what others aren't willing to do. Take a risk. Make hard decisions and stick to them. You know what? Sometimes the most popular decision isn't always right. And the right decision isn't always popular. You need to make a hard decision about your future because it's your future, nobody else's. Don't let someone else talk you out of your future. And then remain teachable, right? Always learn. Always, learn something new. Our CEO, Hung Gil Park, I don't know how old he is. I'm not gonna try to even figure it out, but I know he's older than me. And you know what he did this year? He graduated with a PhD. He's continued to learn, continued to study, continued to improve his self-knowledge so that he can then bring that knowledge back to Atomy and lead us in a better direction for our future. So what a great example he is to the rest of the world, the rest of us. Continue to remain teachable. And then don't overlook a great opportunity. I know many of us on this meeting are already members of Atomy, but there might be one or two that haven't signed up yet. Atomy is a great opportunity. It's a free opportunity. It's an opportunity that you can do, and the products are great. Don't overlook a great opportunity. So remember, with Atomy and your business, remember it's your business. It doesn't matter what your educational background is. Just remain teachable. It doesn't matter what your age or skill set is. You can do this. It only matters what your attitude is. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me. And then fill your thoughts with positive visions of your future. No stinking thinking. Don't let someone talk you out of reaching that mountain, because it's just down the road, my friends. Now, let's talk about this bad boy, the coronavirus. You know, I'm not going to lie. Over the last 6 months, we've had to make a lot of changes. This virus has impacted the entire world. It's caused all of us to have to work from home, change our habits, remain locked in our house, having to wear face masks. And you know, it's changed the way we do business within Atomy. So it's also maybe brought us to a point where we're just feeling stuck. You know, it's like, well, the things I used to do with Atomy, I used to have people coming over for facials, or I used to meet up with people. Now we can't do that as much anymore. So what are some things that we can do in order to continue to grow our business and continue to become successful with Atomy? Well, here are a few things. One, be the voice of hope and encouragement. Call an old friend and just to say hi. You know why? Because they're sitting at home too. And they're probably depressed or probably looking for an opportunity to help them get out of the situation that they're in. Video chat with your downline members and your friends. Help them remain uplifted. Stay in contact with them, right? We all need that human interaction. So make sure we pick up the phone or even write a letter and send it off. Wouldn't that be special just to get a letter in the mail from an old friend? Learn how to use new tools for communicating, right? Instant messaging someone online to share the business. I have done this over the course of the last 8 months, and I've signed people up doing it. Just randomly, I will message people. I will find them online, I'll message them the opportunity, share with them the product, share with them the opportunity. And you know what? 99 times out of 100, I get flat out rejected. No, no, no. And you know what I do? I thank them for telling me, I thank them for the opportunity, and I let them know I'm here if they ever change their mind. But there's always that one person that will say yes. And it floors me when it happens, but they say yes. And you know what I've just done? I've just changed that person's life. My friends, there are people out there waiting for you to message them, waiting for you to pick up the phone, waiting for you to call them. They're there waiting for an opportunity. In this coronavirus, this whole lockdown, millions of people have joined network marketing companies. Unfortunately, not all of them have joined Atomy. So we need to get out there because there are people out there looking for an opportunity like this. Join Facebook groups that promote networking. If you go to Facebook and look up groups and look up networking, you'll find a ton of networking groups out there. Join them, find out what else is out there, and then promote Atomy. And then learn the company compensation plan so that you can teach it to others. And then watch videos and send links to your members so they can watch it too. And then talk about it with each other. You know, we have an opportunity here while we're all at home to learn about the company, learn about the products, and continue to encourage encourage and continue to advance our skills. So then that way we're able to speak, to other people effectively about Atomy and the products. And then learn a new language. Hey, how about that one? After all, we are in a global business, right? Don't think you can do it? Watch this. Okay, what I'd like everybody to do right now is I would like everybody to unmute themselves, and I'd like you to join with me in this fun little exercise, all right? So when everybody's unmuted, I want everybody, and I wish I could see you all, but I can't. I want you to put your fist in the air and repeat after me. Aja, aja, aja.
Yeah.
Okay, now, how about in Chinese? Oh,
加油！
加油！加油！加油！
what in Vietnamese?
D.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Oh,
Ciao.
Vamos.
vamos, 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 vamos.
Vamos.
Go,
Go, go, go.
Go, go.
This one, Filipino.
Pumunta, pumunta, pumunta.
Punta. Punta.
My friend.
Visa.
Ayo, visa. Indonesia.
Ayo, pizza.
All right. Did you mute me? All right. Okay. Well, you guys, everybody, we just learned about 8 different languages right there. It wasn't that difficult. It was really easy. With Google Translate, you too can learn some languages, at least enough to be able to interact with people, to help break the ice between the different languages and the different cultures, because we are a global company. So, my friends, use this opportunity while we're in lockdown to learn. All right. At Atomy, we are in the business of changing people's lives, teaching them the tools for a hand up, not a handout. If you want to succeed with Atomy, get plugged in. Come to the Zoom meetings. Come to the weekly meetings. Watch a VOD. Or follow your sponsors. Listen to their advice. You know why? Because they weren't always rich. They started out with their free membership the same as you and I did. And they've been through all of the challenges that we've been through. So listen to your sponsors' advice and follow them. And then number 1, use the products. Become a product user, because then you get to know the products and you get to be able to share your experience with other people. And then share those products with people, okay? So, Atomy has given us all the tools we need to be successful. Now we must take action to make it a reality. We have only just begun our journey. There is an entire world of people out there waiting to hear from us. Hold your head up high, be proud Atomians, and get out there and spread the good news of Atomy to the world. And with that, my friends, thank you very much for the opportunity to share. See you at the top.
Wow. Oh, thank you very much, Scott.
Excellent. Very much, Scott. Very good.
For your story.
Nico.
Let's give it up for him again, everyone.